Domain 4. Virtualization and Cloud Computing. This section explains the differences between IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, client-side virtualization, and cloud-based services. The visuals will help you understand how these technologies interact and how they appear in troubleshooting scenarios. Part 4. Virtualization and Cloud Computing, Domain 4.0. 4.1 Cloud Computing Concepts. Cloud systems provide on-demand shared computing resources over public or private networks. Core cloud characteristics. Features include on-demand self-service, automated provisioning without human intervention, rapid elasticity, instant scaling up or down, broad network access, global accessibility across devices, resource pooling, multi-tenant shared physical hardware, and measured or metered service, pay-as-you-go billing. IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, provides access to raw virtual computing hardware, storage systems, and networking components. The customer is responsible for installing and managing the operating system, applications, and configurations. Examples: Amazon EC2, Azure VMs. PaaS, Platform as a Service, provides a managed operating system and runtime execution environment for software development. The customer manages only their custom application code. Examples: AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Heroku. SaaS, Software as a Service, provides access to fully operational end-user applications hosted by a provider and accessed via web browsers. Requires zero infrastructure management from the customer. Examples: Microsoft 365, Google Workspace. Cloud deployment models. Public services are shared globally over the internet on provider-owned hardware. Private environments are dedicated exclusively to one organization. Hybrid models connect public and private clouds to share data securely. Community environments are shared among multiple organizations with shared regulatory or security goals. 4.2 Client-side virtualization. Virtualization isolates physical hardware resources into multiple separate virtual machines, VMs. Type 1 hypervisors, bare metal, run directly on the physical host hardware without an underlying operating system. They are highly efficient and standard in enterprise data centers. Examples: VMware ESG Proxmox VE. Type 2 hypervisors, hosted, run as application software on top of an existing host operating system. They introduce higher overhead latency, but are common for local testing and help desk labs. Examples: Oracle VirtualBox, VMware Workstation. Resource requirements. Virtualization requires hardware support via CPU extensions, Intel VDX or EMDV, enabled within the system BIOS/UEFI firmware. Dedicated RAM must be committed to each active VM, and guest virtual hard disks are stored as single files, such as .vmdk or .vhd files, on the host's physical file system. Virtual networking configurations. Bridge networking connects the guest VM directly to the physical network, obtaining its own unique IP from the local DHCP server. NT, Network Address Translation, shares the host computer's external IP address, translating outbound traffic to mask the VM. Host-only networking creates an isolated software switch connecting only the host and guest VMs, providing no access to external networks or the internet. Domain 4.0 Mini Summary. SaaS provides complete, ready-to-use software. PaaS delivers a development environment. IaaS provides raw virtual hardware. Type 1 hypervisors run directly on bare metal. Type 2 hypervisors run inside an existing operating system application layer. Bridge networks assign a unique local network IP to a VM. NAT modes hide the VM behind the host's existing IP address. Before we continue to Domain 5, let's do a review of what we just covered in Domain 4 with a short quiz. Question 1. Which best describes infrastructure as a service? IaaS. A. You use a browser-based application with no control of servers. B. You rent virtualized compute, storage, and networks and manage OS/middleware. C. You host and run a complete managed server application automatically only. D. You manage your own data center entirely. Correct answer: B. You rent virtualized compute, storage, and networks and manage OS/middleware. Explanation. IaaS provides virtualized infrastructure resources. Question 2. Which cloud computing characteristic is described as pay for what you use? A. Rapid elasticity. B. Measured service. C. Broad network access. D. Resource pooling. Correct answer. B. Measured service. Explanation. Measured service means usage is metered and billed accordingly. Question 3. What does rapid elasticity primarily enable in cloud services? A. Automatically limiting updates to keep compatibility. B. Scaling resources up or down quickly as demand changes. C. Guaranteeing identical performance for all tenants always. D. Storing data forever without ever archiving. Correct answer. B. Scaling resources up or down quickly as demand changes. Explanation. Rapid elasticity allows quick provisioning and release. Question 4. A hypervisor is most directly responsible for what on a client system? A. Encrypting all network traffic only. B. Creating and managing virtual machines. C. Replacing the physical network card. D. Converting cloud storage formats. Correct answer. B. Creating and managing virtual machines. Explanation. A hypervisor virtualizes hardware so multiple VMs can run. Question 5. Which virtualization type typically runs a guest OS inside a virtual machine, strong isolation, on top of the host OS? A. Bare metal hypervisor only, no host OS. B. Type 1 hypervisor, bare metal. C. Type 2 hypervisor running on a host OS. D. No virtualization, containers only. Correct answer. C. Type 2 hypervisor running on a host OS. Explanation. Type 2 hypervisors run atop a host operating system and support full guest VMs. Domain